We are Blue Hole Campground in Florida Caverns State Park in Marianna, Florida.
And this is a campground review. Make sure you stay to the end to see what Google reviews we were able to find and whether or not we were able to confirm or bust them.
General impression.
This is a quiet campground with over 1,000 acres of green space and trails to explore.
This campground is one large loop with 36 back-end sites. It also has a few tent sites and horse sites available with limited hookups.
The maximum vehicle length for this campground is 40 feet.
It has a narrow one-way road around the campground with some posts in the way that make it a little challenging for the larger rigs. There was a storm recently that did take out the larger trees though.
We stayed in campsite number 36. It was a gravel back-end site that needed a little bit of leveling. Most of the campsites in the campground loop looked fairly level, and most of them were wide enough to park your truck next to your trailer. The hookups depend on which site you book. The campground does have 30 and 50 amps, so hashtag 50, and most have water and sewer. The horse sites only have water and electric. The tent sites are just camping pads, but they do have bathrooms close by and a water spigot. Every campsite has a picnic table, a grill, and a fire ring with a layover grill attachment. They also have these large posts, as you can see behind us, which are great for putting up a hammock.
They do not offer propane refill here. The closest location that you'll find is McCoy's in Marianna, which is about 6 miles away.
They do offer a dump station. It's in the group camp area, which is towards the entrance of the park.
There is no Wi-Fi at this campground. Both Verizon and Starlink were fast enough for streaming.
The noise level at this campground was super quiet. There was plenty of wildlife to enjoy as well, including birds and deer, and we even got to see an armadillo in the wild.
Crazy.
Of all places.
Armored possums.
That's right, that's what I said. They also have beautiful views of the sky at night with very limited light pollution. So great for stargazing.
Amenities.
They do have one really large bathhouse up at the main campground and another one down by the tent and horse camping area. They both offer toilets and showers, and both had been recently cleaned when we went in to check.
Dumpsters were easily located at the entrance to the main park and another set near the entrance to the horse camp / tent area.
At the bathhouse up in the main camp area, they do offer laundry as well with 3 washers and 2 dryers. Unfortunately, only 1 washer was working when we went to check. And it does cost $2 per cycle, but they don't have a change machine, so make sure to bring your quarters. They don't have a pool or a playground at this facility, but they do offer a natural swimming hole.
Because it's a natural swimming hole, it does mean that it changes with the weather. So if you've been here when it's recently rained, it may be a bit brown. Also keep in mind there's going to be plants growing in the bottom of it, and it's going to be slick in some areas.
Something's touching my feet. It's touching!
And there are definitely fish in there. I saw them.
Yeah. They offer kayaking and paddle boarding, as well as hiking, biking, and horse riding trails. They even offer some geocaching right here in the park.
Woo!
Dog friendliness.
They do allow dogs here, however there are really 0 dog facilities here. There's no off-leash dog areas, there's no pickup stations, and the only trash cans they have are the dumpsters themselves. There is plenty of grassy area to walk your dog in throughout the park.
Bring your own poo bags.
Camp store.
There's no surprises here. There is no camp store. They do offer firewood for sale, $6 per bundle, and there is a Dollar General about 6 miles away in Marianna.
There is a gift shop located at the caverns with a few minor things like drinks, though. And, of course,
and swag.
Souvenirs and swag, yeah. There are no Amazon lockers in this area, but there is a UPS store in Marianna. Camp staff interactions.
The camp staff were friendly and helpful. The reservation process for this campground is online, and the website is fairly user-friendly. Additional information.
The caverns are located inside the park, which is really nice. It's actually the reason why we are here at this campground. This is the second year we've tried to come here. There is a $5 entrance fee to come to this park if you do not have a campsite, because it is included in the reservation fee.
The cost to go into the caverns is $8 for ages 3 to 12 and $15 for ages 13 and up.
Not included in the campsite reservation.
Our tour guide was funny and informative. The cave itself was not too physically challenging. There were a few spots though where we had to lean over and walk for about 20 feet. One of the places was kind of steep and a little bit slippery, so it might be a little challenging for folks with limited mobility.
Overall, it was really enjoyable.
The cost for this campground per night was $20, no matter if you have full hookups or partial hookups or no hookups. Also, there is a utility fee. You guys know how I feel about fees. There is a $7 per night utility fee plus a $6.70 reservation fee. That means that the total cost for a one night stay is $33.50.
Staggering.
We feel the value for this is still pretty good, even with the limited hookups, just because the sites are still pretty nice and it is a quiet and well-kept campground. But you know my feelings about fees. So now we get to the part of our review where we confirm or bust the reviews we found on Google. But if you've gotten to this point of the video and you've enjoyed any part of it, please give us that thumbs up button. It really helps our channel continue to grow. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, consider hitting the subscription button or that bell notification. It will let you know next time we drop a video. So try as I might, folks, I could not find a single one-star review for this campground, which is really saying something.
There were some one-star reviews for the park itself, but we're not going to get into those.
We're focusing on the campground here, and I did find a few that I thought we could review and see if we could confirm or bust them for you.
Charles M. writes, okay, no shade anywhere. 3 stars.
Shade. No shade. Shade.
Shade? No shade.
Shade. No shade.
No shade. Back in the shade again. They did have a massive storm back in 2018 which destroyed most of the large trees in the park. Even with that though, we were still able to find some shade, so we're calling this
Busted. Heather H. writes, disappointed but still optimistic, we get to our campsite near the equestrian park and look at the gorgeous Blue Hole, only to find a dark, muddy swamp. The swimming area was also closed. Awesome. Now, I'm not sure if you've ever tried to camp without electricity. Surprise, in Florida during the last weekend in April, but I don't recommend it. They don't spray for mosquitoes because of the bats, and I'm pretty sure that those supersized mosquitoes have turned the tides and ate all the bats. Seriously, folks, bring a saddle because you can ride those things. You could literally hear the laughing at the bug spray. It's also not quiet. As we were sweltering in our tents, listening to the gentle buzz of the insatiable flying leashes lurking outside, we heard nothing but gunshots, helicopters, flying overhead, and trains. So after a 5-hour drive, swimming only in our perspiration, no sleep, and severely anemic, we gave up, packed it all up in 24 hours from our arrival, and drove 5 hours back home. And that's a 2-star review.
Yep.
Wow, Heather, that is a lot to unpack. Aren't you glad you don't have to lift that suitcase? You know, unpack.
I thought I had the dad joke. Well, the Blue Hole, as we stated, is basically dependent on the weather. It's a natural spring that comes out of the ground, so it is definitely going to vary greatly depending on what time of the season it is and what the weather's been like. The water was quite beautiful when we were here. I didn't personally do any swimming. Amy, did you?
Nope.
Not even in your own perspiration?
Oh, no, that's a hard no, guys. Hard no. No.
We didn't see any mosquitoes while we were here, although there was just a hard freeze, and it's January.
And this campground is surrounded by swamps, so in May, I could definitely see it being more muggier and buggier around the campground. So we're going to call this one plausible. Bring a saddle. Now we're going to move on to Love It or Hate It, where we talk about the things we loved and hated about this campground. We'll start off with the negative and finish up with the positive. So Mike, tell me, lay it on me, what was your least favorite part of staying in this campground?
Well, the fact that I have to fill up the truck between the entrance to the park and the campground.
It is not that far.
It's totally that far.
It's not that far. It is a long drive, though. Mine is the fees. Okay, well, also, yeah, I hate those fees, but also the limited campsites that are available for big rigs.
And the lack of bugs. 1 star, wait.
No, that's a positive thing. That is 100% a positive thing. Let's leave all that behind us, and we'll move on to the things we loved about this campground. What was your favorite part?
Had to be how close we were to the caverns. I really was looking forward to seeing them, and we were not disappointed.
Yeah, mine was how quiet this campground is. So despite what Heather's experience was, we didn't hear any trains, any planes, nor did we hear any gunshots. It did not sound like we were a war zone. In fact, it felt like we were the only ones here. It was really quiet and enjoyable. If you enjoyed this campground review and you'd like to see others like it, please check out our campground reviews over here. Or if you'd like to see what adventures we got into while we were here at this campground, check out our vlog up here.